Fly racing. We lie on our backs in the tent, looking up at the roof where the flies walk and hop and fly. There are bluebottles and horseflies and houseflies and midges. My brother says it's a race, and he gives them names. The housefly he calls Joe Soap. The horsefly he called Thugger. The midge he calls Tiddlybottom. Then he starts the racing commentary. And Joe Soap is heading for the line. Oh no, he's coming back. Tiddlybottom is stuck. Tiddlybottom hasn't moved. Thugger is powering into the lead, and little Tiddlybottom seems to be stuck. And I'm giggling, and he's shouting, and I'm giggling, and my dad suddenly puts his head through the tent door. You've woken us up. It's 5:30 in the morning. We come on holiday to rest and relax, and all we can hear is you two roaring your heads off in the middle of the night. And my brother says, but you said it was 5:30 in the morning. That's not the middle of the night. Enough, says my dad, and his head disappears from the tent door. We'll talk about this later. Oh no, not the later thing. And I lay there, pointing up at Tiddlybottom. He hadn't moved. He was still there. And we lay there laughing so hard, but oh so quietly that there were tears streaming out of our eyes, and we buried our faces in our sleeping bags. Later, we got the later thing. Frying pan. Mum said she's not going on another camping holiday until we get a proper frying pan. She says, I'm not going camping ever again with a frying pan without a handle. Who ever heard of cooking with a frying pan without a handle? If you did more of the cooking, you wouldn't want to cook with a frying pan without a handle. Everyone else who goes camping goes with a proper frying pan. But when we go camping, we go with a frying pan without a handle. It's typical of your father. He gets a new car, he gets a new tent, he gets a new raincoat. But I'm cooking with a frying pan without a handle. I've sat there for hours and hours, trying to fry onions, trying to fry liver, trying to fry bacon and eggs, and I'm trying to do it all with a frying pan without a handle. There are good frying pans these days. Nice ones. I've seen them. People go camping with them. Not rich people. People like us. They sit there every night with their nice frying pans, having a nice time. But what have we got? A frying pan without a handle. The raft. Mart and me made a raft for the river. Thick branches crisscrossed and tied with rope. Empty cans on top to help it float. Mart and me would row about on the water. We'd cross to the other side. We'd row downstream, upstream, under the trees, between the fields. We'd be river rovers. The river would be ours. We made the raft at the water's edge. We pushed it out into the shallows. Mart got on. Are you getting on? He said. Not yet, I said. And then, whew, it flipped. It flipped right over. Mart was under the raft. The raft was on top of him. He was underwater. I couldn't lift it off him. The criss-cross branches were like a cage holding him down in the river water. His face came up into a space between the branches. He called out, "Ah!" He went under again into the river. I tried to lift the raft, but he was clinging onto it underneath. I couldn't lift the raft. His face came up into the space again. I could see his hands gripping the branches. He was trying to get air, but he couldn't get his mouth up high enough into the space so his mouth was filling up with river water. Then he went under again, and the space where his face had been was river brown. Mart's brother Tony stepped into the shallows, grabbed the raft and hoisted it up, with Mart still clinging to it. Mart choked, coughed and spat. He sat on the riverbank, shuddering. His clothes stuck to him like another skin. Mart's mum and dad and my mum and dad had a conference. They decided that there would be no rafting. Trousers down! My best friend Mart said that we could take rucksacks and drinks and sandwiches and raisins and chocolate and go and climb the Sugarloaf. I said that it was miles and we might get lost, but he said he knew how to read maps. And we had walked 15 miles in a day before when we went with our parents. So we did. We climbed the Sugarloaf, all on our own, with our rucksacks. Sugarloaf's a mountain with one bit in Wales and one bit in England. We were so pleased when we got to the top, we said we ought to celebrate. We discussed this as we sat at the top eating our sandwiches and raisins and chocolate. I know, said Mart, I've got it. You see that path down there? That's the way we go to get home. Somewhere along the path is the border between Wales and England. We leave Wales and we go into England. What we do, he said, is we celebrate by walking into England with our trousers down. But how will we know where the border is? I said. Well, he said, I don't know exactly where it is, but by looking at the map, I've got a pretty good idea. So when I say we're getting near to the border, we take our trousers down. Then for the next few minutes, we walk along with our trousers down until I reckon from the map that we're in England. What do you think? I said I thought it was a brilliant plan. So we packed up our stuff and headed down the mountain. Mart was studying the map. And then he suddenly said, we're getting there. Trousers down. So we took our trousers down and our underpants and we started walking on down the path. It wasn't very easy because you can't take very big strides with trousers and pants round your ankles. But we kept on. I said, what if we see someone, Mart? We'll have to pull our trousers up and wait till they're gone, he says. Then we take our trousers down again and carry on. We can't give up just because some people turn up. Ah, that's true, I said. So we walked on and Mart started singing. We're walking into England with our trousers down, with our trousers down, with our trousers down. We're walking into England with our trousers down. Oh, yeah! Nobody did turn up, and after quite some time I said, are we in England yet, Mart? And he studied the map and said, yeah, we must be by now. So we pulled our pants and trousers up and headed back to the campsite. When we got back, our mums and dads asked us how we got on. Did you climb right to the top of the Sugarloaf? Oh, yeah, said Mart. Yeah, no problem. But you must have walked something like 15 miles, my dad said. That's it, said Mart. Yep. Well done, boys, said Mart's dad, and I was feeling really proud, so I said, and we walked into England with our trousers down. There was silence. You what? Said my dad. We walked into England with our trousers down. Why in heaven's name did you do that, he said. To celebrate. We had climbed the Sugarloaf. Do you understand that, Connie? My dad said to my mum. Do you? He turned to Mart's parents. What have we done? We've brought up two completely crazy children. They go out, they climb a mountain, they walk 15 miles, they read maps, they carry their own food and drink, they show themselves to be really capable, responsible boys, and then what do? They walk all over the countryside with their trousers down. How come we've produced two complete idiots? Where did we go wrong? I thought, wrong? Wrong? You haven't gone wrong. Me and Mark did something really brilliant today. I mean, I bet there's not many people in the world who can say that they walked into England with their trousers down. The rains. In the Jura Mountains, it rained and rained and rained. Every day, every night, we lay in our tents and listened to the rain. Rain raining, rain raining, rain raining. The earth was a sponge. The paths were rivers. Our sleeping bags were damp. Underneath the tent, it started to smell of old cabbage. Our feet wrinkled. My father got up in the night and shone a torch into the rain and dug a ditch round the tent so that the water would flow away. But the ditch filled up, and one night it flowed into the tent. We lay in the dark while the rain rained, on and on. Rivulets of rain trickled through the tent. The lightning lit up our faces. The thunder rolled round the mountains. I thought there could be waves of rain and we would float away. When I woke up, the rain had stopped. There was no pattering on the tent roof. There were birds. It was light. Warm in the sleeping bag, cold on our faces, I pulled my hand out of the bag. I touched the tent. The wall was wet and tight. I wondered what was outside on the other side of the wall. I didn't mean to press too hard. Or perhaps I did. The wall of the tent was so wet and so tight that I poked a hole straight through it. I didn't know, but Dad was standing right there and he saw my finger burst through. He heard it rip the tent wall. For God's sake, what have you done now? I looked through. He was on the other side, staring in. His eye, big in the hole. Oh, sorry, I said. I didn't mean to, honest. Oh, there's dry land out there.